What is up, you guys? This is me doing an intro. Hello, hi. We are doing life update kind of video today. We're just basically doing Q&A, answering some questions that you guys had for us. It's just some repetitive questions that we've received from friends and family from just everything that we've been doing since we moved down here. So we decided to sit down and film this video answering everyone's questions, and we really hope you enjoy. If you guys like this video, and if you're new here, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel. We're going to be filming more. We talked about it in the video. Really hope you enjoy. Now let's get into today's video. First thing, we moved to St. George. So we are down here in St. George, Utah now, which those of you who don't know, we were up near Salt Lake City before we came down here. So it's about a 4-hour drive away from all of our family. So why did we move to St. George, and what kind of things led us down here? First of all, I did not want to move down here when you first brought the idea up to me. So we have some family members that are realtors, and we had kind of talked a little bit here and there about possibly selling our home up in the Salt Lake area because, you know, prices of homes had just gone way up, and we found out that our house was worth like almost double what we
not quite, but
it wasn't double, but it was
a very significant increase.
75% increase.
Yeah, we bought it in 2019 and then we sold it at the beginning of 2022, and yeah, like she said, probably like a 75% increase in value, something crazy. So that was like, we were in a 2-bedroom with, 2 kids, and they weren't sleeping well together in the same room, and it just felt like we needed more space. And as we were looking around up in that area still, we realized like it was going to be tough, even with the equity that we had, to roll it into a place that was big enough for us, we felt like. And so I, out of like just being curious, because I kind of know the St. George area a lot, just because my family like vacation down here a lot, I just decided to kind of look around and see what was available down here. And I realized that depending on what areas down here you were looking, like you could get quite a bit more house and property for the same amount that you could spend up there. So I kind of brought the idea up to her, and she didn't really love it at first, but eventually she warmed up to the idea.
Yeah, because up in that area, I had 3 sources of income, and 2 of those sources required me to be in that area. So I was making more money than either of us have ever made, and that was my paycheck alone, and he was still working and making money on top of that. And so I felt like I was just on cloud 9 with how much money we were making and not having to worry about our bills or our finances basically at all. And I had intended, at least I had in mind, that if we were to sell our house, that we were gonna buy in that same area so that I could continue working where I was working. So that's why I didn't want to come down at first, but he kind of convinced me. His job was remote. One of my 3 sources of income was remote. So even though we would be taking a little bit of that loss, it was kind of a really cool opportunity to come down and, be in a whole new place and feel like we're kind of like starting a new chapter in our lives together as a family. But yeah, so I thought all of that would be super fun. So I decided to take the risk, and we moved down here, and I actually ended up getting really excited about it. And, during the whole process of the move and finding our home, we actually ended up purchasing a brand new home that was being built still when we found it. And as we were closing and everything, it came down to like the very day we were moving in. They were still finishing up a few things. So it was really cool to come in here, and I kind of have a thing about hygiene and cleanliness. So to know that we were going into a home that was like brand new, fresh and clean, and I didn't have to go in and clean a bunch of stuff was really awesome. So I really loved that aspect of it.
Yeah, so we sold our house, and the whole idea of moving to St. George didn't come up until probably 2 weeks after it had already sold.
So for the next question, we have, how have our kids adjusted to the move? What kind of things do they like to do down here? So our kids have actually adjusted a lot better than I thought that they were going to. I knew that when we had gone on trips and stuff that they had done it all right. I just wasn't quite sure, with Kinley. And for those of you who don't know, we're going through the process of trying to get diagnosis for her for autism. For those of you who don't know, we are working with Kinley and some other doctors, and we are on this journey of trying to get her diagnosis for autism. We're very confident that that's something that she has and that she struggles with. We just don't have an official diagnosis for her yet. But with that being said, a lot of times people who have autism can struggle with new things and new environments and a change of routine and things like that. So I kind of worried a little bit with her because of that, but I think that because she's still so little, I think she did just fine. And especially because we were moving around a lot before coming here. We forgot to mention we were in Vegas for a month.
Yeah.
So something we kind of forgot to throw in there. While this house was being built, we still put an offer in and got accepted, but they were about a month and a half out from being done. So we ended up getting a month-long Airbnb in Las Vegas. And we just kind of did Las Vegas for fun, just because we like to vacation there, and we just thought it would be kind of fun to be there for a month.
And the longer stays for the Airbnbs there were cheaper.
I don't remember that, but I trust you.
There wasn't quite as many Airbnbs here in St. George that were, we needed one quick. It was kind of short notice. So we needed one that we could stay in for a month and what was available this upcoming month. And Vegas had quite a few and they were significantly cheaper, whereas St. George really only had one or two options and they were pretty expensive for a month.
Yeah, so because we had gone from the West Jordan house, just in the Salt Lake area, we had gone from that house down here to St. George in that Airbnb, then over to Las Vegas for that Airbnb, and then back to St. George for our house. There's kind of a lot of moving around in that time frame, and I think they just kind of got used to it. They just kind of got used to being in new places, and they're actually both very curious little toddlers. So I think they enjoy being in a new place sometimes and looking around. As long as it's something where they've looked around and they feel comfortable, then they do pretty good. So they did all right with that, and they've done just fine since we've come down here. They've been growing just like any toddler should. Kinley has struggled a little bit with speech delay, and she used to talk a little bit more than she does now. I almost feel like some of it's coming back again, but it's harder to understand. It's now she's kind of talking with this lisp, but she got a broken tooth, and it's because she jumped off a table and there was a decoration on the ground that she had also put there and just jumped off and landed right there and chipped her tooth. And maybe that's something that could be difficult with talking. Maybe it feels weird with her tongue. I don't know, but that's something that kids can experience who have autism. They can kind of excel in things and then regress and then excel again, and just kind of back and forth. And her speech has definitely done that. It's gone up and down, but we have an appointment with a new doctor on the 21st of September. No, the 22nd, because it's a day after Hudson's birthday once he turns 2. And his name is Sam Goldstein, and anyone in the Utah area probably knows who that is if you know anybody with autism, or unless you have no experience with that at all. But if you have anybody in your family with autism, or it's something that you've been around quite a bit in the Utah area, you've probably heard his name. He's pretty well known. He's got people flying in here from other states to visit him and get diagnoses for their children. So hopefully with that appointment, we will be able to see some progress here soon and be able to get Kinley some of the help that she needs as far as her social skills go and things like that. So next, people are wanting to know about our jobs since moving. Did we get new jobs? How has our work affected since we moved here?
Yeah, and Peyton talked about earlier, like we were both working remotely before we moved. I had started at a like financial tech company and was working there remotely for them. I had been referred by a friend, and I also had, a sibling that worked there and was loving the work. It was awesome. The company felt like it was in a great spot, and I don't know, I was excited to be a part of it. And in June, so after we had been living here for like 2 months-ish, maybe 3, I woke up like on a Tuesday morning, and my friend that also worked there called me because it was like my day off. I wasn't going to be on there. He called me at like 7 a.m. I was like, dude, have you seen the news? Have you like tried to log onto your work computer? I was like, no, like what's going on? And he was like, the company just did like massive layoffs. Tons of the workforce has been let go, thousands of employees. And so it was just like this big shock, like, okay, wow, that's actually crazy. So just like out of nowhere, I all of a sudden didn't have this job that was like a big part of like me feeling comfortable moving down here, was that like I had this remote work that I could work anywhere in the US. So this just kind of was like a big shocker, and I've probably been applied to 500 plus jobs since June. I've done countless interviews. I've been through interviews where companies put me through like 3 or 4 rounds of interviews, and then sometimes I get ghosted completely where like I don't know if I got the job and I just don't hear anything back. I've gotten rejection emails. It's been like a very tough, like mentally draining process, but I'm just trying to keep looking for opportunities, keep applying places, and I know like eventually I'll find the right spot, and I will like find a job that works for me, that I'm happy doing, and it will be awesome. It's just kind of like been draining. And so now, like, because I'm not working, I'm home with the kids all day, and that's been like kind of a blessing in disguise. Like there's days where it's like really overwhelming, but also like I have entire days with my kids that like I'd be working all day long, and then once I was done with work, then I could like go see them. So now it's like been fun to like be able to do stuff with them in the middle of the day that like normally I wouldn't have. So I'm trying to just like be positive and enjoy the time while I'm searching for something else.
And through all of that happening the same month, even my boss that I was working for, I worked for a music studio remotely, and I did their tax accounting, and I was kind of like the vocal coach's assistant as well. I helped her with more than just her taxes. I also helped her with her students and all of her filing and creating music files and things like that. And her family actually moved to Idaho, and they have had quite the experience with that move, and they've had a lot going on with all of that. And she actually just got a new job as a music teacher at an elementary school, so I'm really happy for her. But through that, I did lose my job with her as well, so we both had no income coming in, and we had just bought this house. So that was definitely really scary, especially because we were so prayerful about moving here, and we just knew that this is where we were meant to be. So it was definitely strange to have all of that happen. I ended up picking up a job where I actually work for a family. They're full-time YouTubers. I won't say their name just because I don't want to like put it all out there for everybody, but I do work for a family here on YouTube, and they have almost 2 million subscribers, so they're pretty well known. And it's been really cool experience getting to know them, and they share the same faith that we do, which has been something that has helped us grow really close to them. And it's been a really awesome experience to see, behind the scenes what it's like to do YouTube full time. And it's actually kind of encouraging me and you for, possibly another chapter in our lives, something, creating a little side hobby or something like that. I've done, makeup videos here on this channel, and now I'm over here like, should I film vlogs of being at home with the kids and just like what kind of stuff I do in the day, just kind of like mom life stuff, because I like to watch those kinds of channels on YouTube myself, and it kind of makes me feel like it could be fun to do that myself. So yeah, we think that would be really fun. And I think through all of this process, it's also inspired Colin a little bit. He's kind of starting to think, YouTube could be a really fun thing to do on the side, and he's been making motorcycle videos that he could tell you about, what he's doing.
Yeah, so I mean, it originally started like, when we were living in West Jordan, I got a motorcycle, and I had one before we got married that I sold before we got married. Just, it was the practical decision at the time. I really missed riding, so I eventually bought one again when we were living in West Jordan, and I got a GoPro around the same time just because I was curious and I wanted to like try and film like some rides like from the rider's perspective and just like play around with it and kind of see how it went. And I remember I filmed a ride through Big Cottonwood Canyon, like just as fall was starting. So like leaves were changing color in the canyon. It was really, really awesome. And I had a lot of fun like editing that footage down and uploading it to YouTube. And I was kind of treating it more like, okay, this will be fun to like have a bunch of like rides that I documented that I can go back and like see kind of like where I've gone and stuff. It's kind of turned into like me wanting to improve it, because that first video, that ride through Big Cottonwood Canyon, kind of blew up, and like not blew up. It doesn't have that many views. Yeah, no. So it has about like 10,000 views on it, and a bunch of likes and comments, and people were just like, I just was kind of like taken back because it was such a simple video. I'm not talking on it or anything. It's literally just the sound of the motorcycle riding through the canyon from my perspective. But no, I was really like grateful that like that many people were able to enjoy the video. And like, so then like we moved down here. My bike stayed up in Sandy, my mom's house, for a while we were living down here. But eventually we decided to take a trip up, and I was gonna bring the bike down. I tried to film the ride from Sandy to St. George just because it's like a 4-hour ride, and there's a lot of like cool areas on the drive that I felt like would be fun to like make like a time lapse of bringing the bike down here. But it was June and it was really, really hot. Like 20 minutes into the ride, my camera overheated and shut off. And I didn't know that until like I stopped, and I just realized that like the weather was too hot, it wasn't gonna work. I tried again, like after I stopped starting the video again, and again, I only got like 10 or 15 minutes of footage after I started up again. But that was a really long ride. It was like stopping every main city that I could find to chug water and whatnot. Eventually got the bike down here, and there was a ton of rides down here in southern Utah that like I already knew in my head like I want to do. I've already done one where I rode through like the gorge on I-15, like that's between St. George and Mesquite. And that one was really fun. I got that edited and put up, and I realized that like there were certain things that like I wasn't as happy with, like sound quality and whatnot. And so like it's just kind of become like this new hobby of mine where I want to create these videos where people that maybe they can't ride anymore for one reason or another, or they used to ride, or they used to ride with someone, they can now watch these videos and kind of enjoy the videos from the perspective of the motorcycle. So this has become kind of a fun hobby for me.
We got a baby coming in here. You want to join the video?
Hudson, you need some water?
Are you thirsty?
What's this one?
And lastly, what is going to be coming up soon for us too is I have started a small business. It hasn't officially launched yet, but we're very, very close. I didn't think that it was going to be launching anytime soon. I thought that I was going to do, this whole business loan, but we ultimately decided that through, these financially difficult times that I was going to start with just a couple small products to launch to start out with, and then I can slowly add on more products and things, other ideas that I have down the line. I've just got, a lot of goals and ideas and plans for what this business will eventually be. But as of right now, we're starting with a couple small products. So I'm really excited about doing that. I'm hoping to launch October 1st. That is my goal, is to be able to launch and allow people to start purchasing products October 1st. So that will be really exciting. The name of my small business is Haas Fam. So our last name is Haas, if you don't know that. So we're the Haas Fam. So we have this hooligan of a toddler in here just making a ruckus, not letting me finish this video. It's really fun and I love it so much. He's adorable. So Colin left with Hudson because he was in here knocking the camera over and banging and crying and throwing his body down and rolling around and laughing really loudly and getting up on the bed and getting down and doing all of these things, and he was definitely needing our attention. So Colin left with him. The last thing I wanted to talk about before closing out this video is I have a really big special announcement. I am going to officially be launching my new business on October 1st. I'm really excited about it. Our business is called Haws Fam. So it's our last name and fam. And it's going to be products for mamas and babies. And I have a lot of really fun ideas for what's to come with the business. I had originally planned on, getting this big business loan and launching a ton of products to start with. And, I have this huge long list of things that I want the business to have. But, we've been really prayerful through our financial struggles that we've been dealing with. And we really felt like, launching the business was something that we needed to do. And I wasn't quite sure how we were going to do it in, this financial state that we're in. So through lots of prayers, we decided to start out with, a couple really small batches of product. And we just have a couple things launching, a couple holiday things launching on October 1st for babies and toddlers specifically. And that will be our very first products that we're launching. And we're so excited about it. And there will be more sneak peeks soon on my Instagram. Our business Instagram page is in the making right now, but I will still link it in the description so that, maybe if you're watching this, maybe it's already up and going and things like that. But we're really excited about it. It's something that, I've put a lot of work into and that I plan to continue to put more and more work into. And I have so many fun things planned for this business. So I really hope that you guys look into it and that, hopefully we launch something that you'll be really excited about and want for your little babies too. So if you're a mama or you have a baby, then you should go follow us on Instagram and stay tuned for upcoming launches. Thank you so much for watching this video. We really hope that it helped all of our family out there and all of our friends so that you can see what's been going on with us in our lives, and hopefully it helps you to feel a little bit closer to us, knowing where we're at. And we're so thankful for you guys, and we love you so much, and we hope that you stay tuned for both Colin and I's upcoming videos, and we love you so much. Thank you. Bye.